Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I love it when leftoids gaslight us. What do you mean we're acting dishonestly and we're clearly biased and corrupt? It's all in your head, you right-wing conspiracy theorist. You're crazy, that's not actually happening. It's all in your mind. Yeah, the leftist media is just being fair. It's just that there's nothing to criticize on the left and everything to criticize on the right. Sure, you know, that might be the lie that leftists spout to convince themselves, to justify their worldviews, but the reality I'd say is quite opposite. And time again, we catch these leftoids in their Freudian slips, or we catch these leftoids basically exposing how the cookie is made. And this example right over here, this little oopsies from NBC News talking head clown Chuck Todd, well, it's up there with some of the greatest examples. Boy, do I have a clip to show you guys today. But before we get into anything, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's play that clip. This video is brought to you guys by our friends at American Hartford Gold. Folks, we're facing uncertain times. It's been a real rocky 3 years. Politicians have a spending problem, printing endless trillions, then of course leaving you the tab in the form of inflation, the most insidious tax of all. The cost of goods and services continues to rise, and during times like this, one of the best ways to protect your hard-earned cash is by investing in physical assets. In this case, precious metals, gold and silver. That's where American Hartford Gold comes into play, the highest rated gold company in America, with gold prices through the roof once again hitting an all-time high, currently at almost $2,200 an ounce. Now's the time to give them a call. With one phone call, they could deliver physical gold and silver straight to your doorstep, or they'll have it delivered directly into your 401k or IRA. And best of all, you could take advantage of the current promotion, where you could receive up to $5,000 of free silver on qualifying first orders. All you need to do is call 844-440-1005. Again, that's 844-440-1005, or text Hivemind one word to 65532. That's 65532. As usual, a huge thank you to American Hartford Gold, always protecting us from the insidious tax of inflation. Alright friends, so take a look at this tweet from Simon Ateba. He writes, NBC's Chuck Todd mocks presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for suffering from a condition called spasmodic dysphonia, which is a neurological disorder affecting the voice muscles in the larynx or voice box. This condition causes the voice to break and can have a tight, strained, or strangled sound. Take a look.
I think if you've ever spent a lot of time watching Robert Kennedy Jr. speak, I think if you're Joe Biden, you're going to want him on the debate stage. Yes. I think there will be a point in the fall that they will actually see that as an asset. I'm sort of in the minority on this.
Well, let's just face it.
But I think that
he has a vocal issue.
He does.
It's an ailment.
And I think it will weirdly help Biden look less, any of his issues come across less.
Leslie.
It's unbelievable. Oh, the leftist media is fair. MSNBC does opinion, but NBC News, oh, that's real news. Give me a break. These people are the biggest DNC shill political hacks on the frickin' planet. MSDNC is a DNC propaganda outlet that should never be called a news outlet. He can't even bring himself to say it. This is supposedly a journalist who's won awards, a trusted journalist who only deals in facts and approaches all situations with no bias. I mean, an unbiased commentator, yet you can clearly see the reluctance. You can see it in his face, in his body language, and in the things that he said. He is scared shitless to say what he's actually thinking, to say the truth, that Joe Biden is pissing in a diaper. For Pete's sakes, Chuck Todd sounds like Joe Biden. Oh, you know the thing. These people are so utterly dishonest and so utterly desperate. I mean, literally grabbing at anything. It's been over 4 years of this nonsense, basically since the start of Joe Biden's campaign back in 2020. It's been a constant struggle, a constant effort from the media to somehow distract away from Joe Biden's clear cognitive decline, to somehow pretend as if it isn't happening, or to be extremely selective in what you say and what you show in order to portray Joe Biden as a competent figure. I mean, we all remember how the media was acting when Joe Biden said a couple sentences right during his State of the Union address. Oh wow, so amazing. Joe Biden spoke a sentence. He said the chicken crossed the road. Wow, he's the most eloquent president to have ever existed. It's either nonstop copium in this ridiculous gaslighting campaign, or it's this kind of nonsense. Rubbing their hands together, ooh, maybe this is our chance. Maybe RFK Jr. is gonna make Joe Biden and his, the thing, his, the stuff that we can't talk about as neutral journalists, maybe it's gonna make it all go away or appear less severe. Yeah, I don't think so. Sure, RFK Jr. has an issue speaking. He's got an actual physical ailment, which makes him sound like this.
And I'll leave you with 3 thoughts. One is that any power that government takes from the people, it will never return voluntarily. Number 2 rule, every power that government takes, it will ultimately abuse to the maximum extent possible. And number 3, nobody ever complied their way out of totalitarianism. The only thing we can do is resist. Thank you all very much.
But at least he strings words together in coherent sentences and actually says things that make sense. Meanwhile, Joe Biden...
They want to undo what they finally got done. And then what we finally got done to make up for it.
Just 4 days after that, Philadelphia fire I just referenced, another fire took place, costing 17 lives in the Bronx, because the building made up of affordable housing units had no fire safe. None. It was not fire safe, period.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to
Joe Biden doesn't make sense. Joe Biden has poop for brains. Joe Biden's a freaking Roomba. Actually, I think that's an insult to Roombas. I recently bought one of those robot vacuums to clean my condo, and holy moly, that thing is smart and on the ball. It mapped my entire house, it knows exactly how to get into all the corners, it cleans its own mop pads, filters its own water, and can even detect what type of floor it's on. It uses a different mode in the bathroom on the tile than it does on the hardwood on the floor, and detects carpet so it doesn't mop the carpet. Yeah, Joe Biden can't do any of that. Joe Biden can't tie his shoelaces. Calling him a bot is an insult to bots. But somehow, the media is hoping, the DNC shills in the media are hoping that you're so dumb, that you're such an idiot, frankly, there's no other way to say it, that you're going to be distracted away from this clear reality that the current president is a freaking vegetable who can't speak English, his native language, because RFK Jr. has a scratchy voice. Okay, alright, sure. I don't know how anybody can take the media seriously anymore, at least the mainstream media. It's so obvious they're in the DNC's pocket. I mean, we've all seen the stats that at a lot of these outlets, over 90% of the journalists identify as liberal or left-wing. We all know, according to research from the Media Research Center, that during the 2020 presidential election, coverage of President Donald Trump was overwhelmingly negative. Approximately 92% of network news stories portrayed him unfavorably. It's a constant onslaught against the former president, constant bias attacks, and then this is what you get with Joe Biden. Journalists who are too scared to even say the basic facts, to acknowledge the basic reality. Hunter Biden's laptop, of course, wasn't real, even though it was a whole hard drive filled with frickin' dick pics and cocaine. Yeah, definitely not Hunter Biden. Definitely not authentic. They must have been AI photos generated in Midjourney. That's what they told us. It's a willingness to constantly lie in our faces, to constantly spin the truth, to constantly defend the Democrats, defend the powers that be, the institutions of power. And when you question it, well, you're a horrible extremist who wants to do harm towards journalists. You're putting me in danger by criticizing my work.
I was murdered. You were murdered. Okay, you obviously weren't murdered.
It's a dangerous anti-journalist, anti-democratic rhetoric. No, it's valid criticism based on behavior. You're not a conspiracy theorist for seeing the obvious. You're not a bad person for having an issue with a totally corrupt, totally in the pocket, totally compromised media environment. Democracy cannot thrive, cannot exist in this environment. That's the ironic part about these people going on and on about preserving democracy when they all act like state news propaganda, the type of crap you'd expect to see out of North Korea. I mean, for Pete's sakes, following the last State of the Union address, I see almost no distinction, almost no difference. They were treating Joe Biden like supreme leader, Xi Biden. Oh, he could do no wrong. Oh, bow down to his greatness. He was able to recite the alphabet on memory. Whoa, I went a little bit too far there. There's absolutely no frickin' way Joe Biden can recite the alphabet. But anyways, you get what I mean. The media is compromised. The media is obviously corrupt. And it's yet again another example of the clear, blatant, obvious truth. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.